I will talk about PDX, and then Ungsig will talk about PLM service. Right? So my one is not so long. And PDX is another standard product data exchange. So very similar name, but this is specialized in electrical engineering industry, as you can see. So PDX is a collaborative result of industry and NEMI. NEMI is the United States Electronics Manufacturing Institute or something. And IPC is also another institute for packaging and electronic circuit interconnection. And RosettaNet is also an industry consortium focused on electronic business processing in electrical engineering industry. So you can find more information on their website. So it is related with electronic business in electronics manufacturing industry. And the standards, because they started around 2000, beginning of 21st century, from the beginning they use XML as their language for standard. And IPC was Institute for Packaging and Circuit. They make standards. So it is a consortium standard or organizational standard, right? Not a national, not a international, but it becomes as a NC standard later, and also they are trying to make it as an international standard through IEC. IEC is a competing institute for standard organization with ISO and ITU. But the IEC is specialized in electrical or electronic technical field or domain. And they are saying the specification, the standard book is free of charge. You can find from this website. And 3 of them is published. This is a little bit outdated, so there is 1 more and 2 more. And they are now NC, the American standard now. And IEC, I could not find any trace on IEC standardization. There is information that they are trying to make it as an IEC international standard. So once again, there are 3 PDX standards. The first one is for requirement for supply chain communication of electronic industry. And second one also requirements for supply chain. So it's related with supply chain. Both of them is a communication of as-built product data. The product itself is electronic product. And then the third one is for product itself, the design configuration. So first 2 is related with supply chain requirement, but third one is about design configuration. And you see that this is done 15 years ago. And this is the same information but a little bit updated image, so that you can see that the 2571 and 2576 and 2578 was in previous slide. There is 1 more, is DTD. DTD may be a part of 2571. And this one is a new emerging at that time, but comparing to the other 3 is a relatively new standard. So they are saying this is a final draft at the time of this slide. The others already made as standard. And same as before, but the title does not have a wording for supply chain here. So product data exchange is a PDX, a requirement for them. And also supply chain is more belongs to this one, B2B communication of as-built product data. And this is for design, but they are more talking about BOM data exchange. And this is a new final draft. 2577 is about product manufacturing quality exchange. So it's more about manufacturing information exchange. And NEMI is outgrowth of NEMI. You can see that this is an international electronics manufacturing industry consortium and formed in 1995, so it's already 20 years ago. They are working for so long time. And there are projects of NEMI related with PDX, so applying PDX standard for electronic manufacturing industry. One of them is about the PLM, but they are saying more, PLM is a product of life cycle management, right? But they include one more wording that is information. So they are saying PLIN rather than PLM. But it is very similar. And 2577 is a new standard they are developing. And fourth and final PDX standard, they are saying it is a communication of manufacturing quality assessment data exchange. And PDX version 2 is also developing together with 2577 standard. And quality assessment also includes the environmental regulations and data exchange. So it is a data exchange related with quality assessment and also environmental regulations. And another project of NEMI is Factory Information Systems, FIS. And they are talking about virtual factory information interchange or plug and play factory. You can think of this one as similar to smart factory nowadays, or Industry 4.0, plug and play factory, or virtual factory. Very different but similar concept. And I showed one more slide on this yesterday. I don't know whether you can remember. That same slide is I put here, but in after discussion slide, so you can see afterwards. And PDX is mainly coming from United States, and history are saying that they have a technical group, interested group. So all of them is related to the factory information systems. So it is very similar to smart factory or Industry 4.0. And belong under the head factory information system, they have a plug and play factory, as you see in the previous slide, and also virtual factory information integration project, and also data exchange convergence project. And keywords is coming together with this one, framework for standardization, XML, and or shop floor integration, the kind of keyword. And under this virtual factory, you can see that PDX for supply chain and Roger tunnel. Right? And in data exchange convergence project in adoption of CAD data exchange standard, and probably can be a step, right? And then standard activity. And next slide is showing about what is RosettaNet and what they are doing with the PDX. RosettaNet is a consortium of electronics manufacturing companies, and they integrate PDX standard into their own cluster 2 and cluster 7 partner interface process. So they are calling this is PIP. So they have their own interface, and also they also integrating PDX standard together. These PIF, the partner interface processes, related to distribution, update of product information, to exchange the technical data for manufacturing of electronic items. And on PDX also NIST is involved, but you see that I don't know the people, but he or she, Barbara Goldstein, she belongs to NIST's Laboratory of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. That STEM is propelled by another laboratory called Manufacturing Technology inside NIST. So that is why they are more specialized in electronic domain. So they are doing on NEMI and VFFIIP is around virtual factory things, and these new data exchange standard of PDX translated into productivity and savings on OEM and on EMS, right? Electronics Manufacturing Service Provider. I told you about EMS several times, including yesterday. So this is talking about Oracle software database system, and they also have a PeopleSoft manufacturing something. So here you see that PeopleSoft enterprise manufacturing coming from Oracle's software company, and they are also talking about PLM, product lifecycle management, PLM application, using PDX, excellent. So you can see from here, Oracle is a company of database management system. They are talking about PLM too. Right? And then PDX is used for their project. Just a diagram of how they are talking each other. So this is PeopleSoft and this is PDX message coming from outside. And there should be a translation. And then inside there, talking about BOM, Bill of Material. And also engineering change management is also very important things. Change orders, engineering change management. And they are the specification, PDX specification is to trading partners, electronic business, automatically loading the BOM information into their systems. And also update and tracking approvals of engineering change orders, engineering change management. Between the vendors, vendor means part suppliers and manufacturers. And there is a approved manufacturing list to make electronic business. Once again, I talked to you about what is Agile Manufacturing yesterday, but this is a company name, Agile Software. One of the first company to join NEMI Virtual Factory project. So one of the company, small company, but they are all talking about Agile Manufacturing from the beginning, as is name of the company. They are the major contributor to the standard development. So somebody people from that company is making the standard itself. So the company is supporting, provide funding and time for developing standard. And the Agile software company was also a first solution provider. Means they also, one hand they developing standard, the other hand they are developing software. Right? So finally they want to sell their software to the industry. So there is the two roles and two goals. To release commercial product that complies with the PDX standard. So they have versions of release of 7.5. Okay, this is a short presentation by myself. You can see from, I will not explain this, but saying there are some abbreviations. And virtual factory slide I showed you yesterday. Also EMS slide I showed you yesterday. Right? That's it. And Ungsig is.
Hello, I am lecturer of today. My name is Ungsig. My subject is PLM services. There you can see there are many PLM services. OMG PLM services, ProStep PDM, Oasis PLCS, Eurostep Sure A Space, Step PDM Schema, and Kiatech Iron Tools, and ISO 15926. This is PLM service. PLM service is composed. It has feature, which is platform, it is independent, and standard basis, which is STEP, XLM, UML, SOAP, and WSDL, and it is web-based, and it features web-based and formally defined use cases, easy implementation and uses, and it can exchange its data between PLM services. And OMG PLM service, this is OMG PLM services. OMG specification for the exchange of product lifecycle data via web services. It defines a STEP AP 214 compliant data model and all the necessary functionality to realize. You see many times in lectures, so I skip this slide. And comparing web service and middleware, the web service complements your traditional middleware platform by providing a uniform and widely accessible interface and access glue over services that are more efficiently implemented in these platforms. This is OMG Mantis. Mantis means manufacturing technology and international system task force. I find this page and I found objectives of Mantis, which is it recommends technology specification based on OMG's model-driven architecture that enable interoperability, reusability, and modularity, and it encourages development of standard interface that encapsulates legacy systems, enabling their integration and easing migration to new technologies. And it encourages adoption of Mantis-related OMG specification by other standardization organization, and it establishes a working relationship with other task forces in both platform and domain technology committees of the OMG to provide mutual support and leverage for each other's specifications. And finally, it establishes and maintains active liaison relationship with appropriate external organization in support of preceding goals. And this is positioning of PLM services. Here is PLM services, and I skip this slide. And this is architecture of PLM services. Program composed of data and function. This left is about data, and this right part is about functions. Right is this small scale rectangular Beijing model for data description, which is AP214, and right rectangular is Beijing model for the description of functions. And this big rectangular is prerequisite for development of web services. And total specification for model, implementation, description, and mapping. And this middle size rectangular is platform independent model, which is composed of informational PIM and computational PIM. And this rectangular is system-specific implementation, for example, XML schema and WSDL. This slide is 3 PLM services cases. There are four PLM services. First step is IVIT reference implementation, and fourth and taker is PLM services as their internal company, PDM data model, and Delphi Automotive and BMW, and Chrysler use PLM services for their in-house communication backbone. And first step AG is OpenPDM is based on PLM services, and this is OpenPDM module. You can see many modules, and here is step N. Okay, it is commercial software, I think, and the right side is I don't know where to put it. This is PDM, from PDM module, and this is PLCS, which stands for Product Lifecycle Support, which is described in Step 80 Application Protocol 239, and it contains support engineering and configuration management, and maintenance, feedback, and resource management. So this picture many times, so I skip. And this is Oasis PLCS service. And the purpose of the Oasis PLCS is to establish structured data exchange and sharing to support complex engineered assets throughout their total life cycle. And this data exchange specification are based on STEP application protocol 239, as I mentioned. And OASIS PLCS is responsible for defining, developing, testing, and publishing of OASIS PLCS PDX and liaison with ISO TC 184 SC4. And this is another PM services. I find this site and try to enter this site, but I cannot enter this site, so I will skip it. And I also cannot find this software, so I skip this slide also. And this is scope of STEP and PDM schema. There is AP 203, 232, and 214. And here is PDM, and this is geometry data of PLM. And here is data definition exchange, and on the AP214 specification control is there. And this is Piatek iron tools. The iron tools was created to provide users with a deployable implementation of ISO 15926 services. With iron tools, user can browse and extend ISO 15926 reference data, map on application schema to the ISO reference data, and transform an application's data into an ISO representation and exchange data between other IRM implementation that support ISO 15926 protocols. This is IRM to stand for ISO 15926 real-time interoperability network. It's the end of my presentation. Do you have a question?
Is it too short? 10 minutes? Less than 10 minutes?
12 minutes. Because I cannot find it.
You can find from using Google.
But I cannot enter this service, and I find this Google, but it is only about airport or flight ticket, so I cannot find this software. So time is short.
Okay, this will be my first and last discussion session.
Is it your first?
First time. So I prefer two. First one is which factor is considered more important for the success of an international standard? First team should go for quality of the standard itself. So good quality will attract people in game. And the second, user community of the standard. So gathering more people leads to the success eventually. So who wants to select first? Okay, Wang Lin, team 1. I select 2.
Okay, 2. 1. So team 1, team 2. Let's start.
Basically, the quality of the standard itself is important, but I think the powerful men, the leaders, like the professors or the researchers, they have some powerful influence to the people.
Okay.
So maybe if we get the kind of people, so we can recommend people to use this standard.
So you're saying attract more people who have power to distribute and advertise this standard is important than the quality. Okay, good point.
Okay, I don't think so. Like for more people don't mean that you have more chances to stay, because like sometimes the success doesn't depend on more people. So sometimes it's kind of wisdom, sometimes kind of cooperation between members, and even like for the connection with industry and the companies. So even if you have many people, you cannot ensure that your like development process will be very good, and even sometimes even for like you have the basic like just like for basic implementation principles for all kinds of people. Like for some engineers, you will do this one, and some engineers you will do that one. Like for sometimes if there is like some problems between those engineers, or even their communication and cooperation. So and in the end, you cannot save, and even like I don't think like for the community standard can be dependent on people.
So you're saying the number of people does not guarantee the success, but the important thing is interaction.
Interaction and more people don't mean like better quality.
Okay. But for the interaction, don't you need more people for the interaction or cooperation?
Like I think if you focus on quality, so you can like recruit more people and find more people who have this kind of talents and even like abilities, and so they can help you or help to develop this kind of even standard and even this kind of like design process. And so
okay, that's a good point.
Or is quality of standard?
Quality of the standard? What do you expect? Quality? suppose you have standard A and standard B. Then if you see standard A's, you can think of many ways: structure way, data way, data-wise, structure-wise. You can compare them.
Finally, usually use standard.
Mm.
User's opinion should be reflected in standard. So and there should be user communicate standard and that group of people of that group make standard and discussion. I think this get better in quality binary.
Ah, okay. So in the first stage, you need to gather more people, then it will eventually make standard more better in quality.
So what happens if you have more people but finally you cannot succeed? There are so many challenges, and even though you can gather so many people, can you ensure finally you can get a very good quality?
We cannot sure, but G, you
I don't think so.
Wang Lin is very strict.
Yeah, like for your target for developing standard is like it can be friendly, like development friendly. So it can be used by other people and can accommodate to different occasions. So like high quality can prove that your development process is good and your standard is good.
Have you seen standard? I have seen ISI step 8239. It is very complicated and different. So I cannot understand it for one time. I think this is obstacle of reading standard.
what is the standard for? What is it standard for?
Standard.
PDX, PDX.
But that's very natural thing, because you're new to the standard and you don't know the standard. So that's why that's difficult for you.
The point of the standard is that it should work, right? So people use standard to exchange data. If the standard is of high quality, they can exchange data better and easily. And then they will have a motive to use it, so people will start using it. So at the beginning it has to work as expected, it has to have a good quality, and then people will start using it because they like the function. But if the standard is bad, people there's a lot of influence, not like cumulative effect, strong people within the organization. Strong organizations are not stupid, they're not going to use a standard that's bad. You need to choose good standards for your own benefits too. Like the quality comes first. And then users will start using it often.
Okay. So what I see is sometimes people list the standard and sometimes standard list people. It happens at the same time, I think. So, okay, good discussion. So I'll move on to the next. This is actually irrelevant to the step or standard, but maybe interesting. At this moment, which type of innovation will change the smartphone market more faster? First team, is hardware innovation. Second team is software innovation. So we all use it. We all use this iPhone or smartphone. Sorry for the Samsung users. Which smartphone do you use? Sony. LG. Okay. Samsung. LG. Oh, so LG team, LG team and other team. Okay. And LG team goes hardware innovation, goes for, and other team software innovation. So what do you think about the iPhone? When iPhone came out first, what do you think? It's hardware innovation or software innovation? When iPhone was first came out, was it software innovation?
It's marketing innovation.
Just marketing. Have you used iPhone? No. Okay.
I think software is really first, supported by hardware.
If and only if supported by good hardware. Okay.
If we use many programmable computer uses like Windows 3.1, this software is not used to it. This software is used to it. So hardware is innovation.
So it's like mental and body. Without your body, you don't exist.
In contrast, you have good shape and very handsome face, but you don't have brain. There's no meaning to it.
Okay. But in that case, that cannot be said innovation. It's just supporting software as such a basic platform.
I think the software is like an idea.
Idea.
So we have some idea, and then we can make the hardware to follow this idea. So the software is the key of innovation.
Yeah, right.
I think for my experience of using LG and computers and headphones, I found like for their like the screen, the display is good, but for the hardware, like for CPUs and for some hard disks, so sometimes especially for the ventilation, so for the fan and ventilation, so it's not good. And when you use it more, and either the phone or the computer, so it will become quite slow. The speed is quite slow, and sometimes even for the computer, the bottom is quite hot. So I think we need to improve their hardware and their design.
Hardware.
Yeah.
That is not innovation.
Yes, kind of. Yes, kind of innovation. So for your different companies, they have different design properties and design styles. So for LG, I think they need to improve and to innovate their design.
Yeah, that is one of innovation. If it's too hot, make it cooler.
Yeah.
I think these days a lot of new technology is showing up in software, more software than hardware. So this web services, cloud computing, all of this, it puts less need maybe on the hardware, or just communication and developing interfaces and talking to the cloud and most of the processing done in also you still need to interface with read and write. I think there's a lot more room for software, so you can still like use a bit of the hardware. So hardware is not a bottleneck yet, but software is usually a bottleneck because we need new applications, new apps, basically, new ideas you have in the world of apps.
Right.
Especially with virtual reality, or augmented reality, or this e-business, lots of new applications,
Right.
machine learning, and all that stuff. It's the software revolution these days.
Right. Another opinion?
I think now battery is very big barrier of hardware innovation. And some software need the computational power, and it needs also put hard CPU and memory and even batteries. So hardware innovation leads software innovation, I think.
So, software team said that about new idea and new room for the innovation. And hardware team said that some constraints for deploying new idea or new software. Okay. So if I think of my experience of using iPhone, then I think this experience comes from both. I think touchpad and also their interface. And so, but I felt that iPhone, when iPhone came out first, it was a hardware innovation, not the software. Because the way we are using smartphone, start from that point. Touch and with all the buttons removed, right? So I think at this point, software just is mature enough. So we need another hardware innovation at this moment. That's my opinion. So okay. So thank you, guys, for this semester. Yeah.
We have another final presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead.
끝난 건가요?
It's finished, yes?
Yes.